Williams broadcast with me, Williams. You are welcome to this edition on Williams broadcast. Is it the first time you're watching and listening to me? Congratulations on becoming one of the members, one of the team at Williams broadcast. Yeah, today we are just low tone, actually, especially after the National Platform and People Power have lost one of their members, one of their soldiers, one of their own. I've just read a comment, a condolence message from by His Excellency Robert Chagulanyi Ssentamu. Marionos Alexandros has gone to be with the Lord. It is unfortunate. The clip you're seeing is the last time Robert Chagulanyi Ssentamu went to visit her at the hospital. So it is so sad and sorry. It is a big loss to the family, to the National Platform, to the People Power movement, to all Ugandans, to the relatives. Sorry to you guys, and it is indeed not a good thing to happen right now. Of course, no good thing is good to happen. Which time? Anytime a bad thing happens is bad timing. So there is, as you're seeing that picture, that poster explaining or giving details and guidance on what will happen during the vigil and up to the burial. You see on Monday 18th, 2025, August at 4 p.m. The vigil will be at the NUP National Platform Headquarters, Makere Kavule, and the burial on Tuesday 2025, that is August 19th, 2025 at 2 p.m. Rimi Town Council, Bunyangabu District. That will be the burial of the late Marionos Alexandros. I've read a detailed message by Robert Chagulanyi Ssentamu, which I don't think I can read all right now, but all I can say is that may her soul rest in eternal peace. Let me just do some few paragraphs. It is with deep sorrow and heavy hearts that we announce the untimely passing of our dear comrade and friend Marionos Alexandros. Marionos was abducted on 30th March 2022 in Imbuya, subjected to incredible torture and raped by regime thugs at CMY Imbuya. Her crime, he asked questions, playing Bobi Wine's music on loudspeakers. So these are not my words. I quote His Excellency Robert Chagulanyi Ssentamu's message of condolence to the family and all the Ugandans. Is like the late Marionos Alexandros was abducted in 2022 and was subjected to incredible torture and rape by the regime thugs. That is according to Robert Chagulanyi Ssentamu. When she came out and exposed the thugs, she started receiving calls threatening to kill her. Her house was raided in the night by rogues, but she was not there that night, having slept at a friend's home. This prompted her to seek refuge in Nairobi, Kenya. Even in Kenya, the regime thugs attempted to abduct her, forcing her to leave Nairobi and go to the UNHCR camp, where she could have some security. Out of the abduction and the torture ordeal, Marionos contracted several diseases, including HIV and AIDS. Last year, she became very sick and started getting treatment while we supported her. Because of the illness and the other conditions in the refugee camp, she returned to Uganda a few weeks back in order to get better treatment in the presence of her family. It is most unfortunate that we have lost her this morning at 1:30 a.m. Marionos joins hundreds of other victims of the Museveni regime of blood and terror. Fight on, comrade. The struggle for freedom and democracy in Uganda is poorer without you. But the evil regime, not the vigil, sorry, I beg your pardon. The evil regime will never have the last laugh. So that is the message, Golola's message to the public, to the family of the late Alexandros by His Excellency Robert Shabrani Sentamu. So may her continue to rest in eternal peace. So that's the note at which Melody is running from the National Unity Platform. We condole with you, all Ugandans, with you, the National Unity Platform and People Power members, supporters. So it sounds not good. It's not good story. It's not a good thing to hear right now. Like Chaplain said, this adds another numeral or Roman number to the several others who have lost their life during the regime of Jaja Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. So that is it. And today, as we mourn the late, there are other stories I would love us to listen to. I am Williams. This is Williams Broadcast, of course. Thank you very much for being with us. I have brothers and sisters watching me and listening to me who are not Ugandans, and of course not listening and watching me from Uganda. They are all over Africa and across the globe. I have sisters and brothers from Kenya, South Africa, Zambia, Zimbabwe, Namibia, Angola, and West Africa, Cameroon, Ghana, Ivory Coast, that is Cote d'Ivoire, Ghana, Nigeria, Cameroon. Thank you very much. This is Williams Broadcast. I'm Williams from Uganda. The news most I give you is about our politics and leadership, current affairs, issues at hand back home in Uganda. Later on, we'll be telling stories about other African countries. Actually, I've been reading again. There was a meeting between Donald Trump, the president of the United States of America, recently. Yes, I'll try to give you an update. Vladimir Putin reportedly made demands definitely to take control of key regions of Ukraine during his summit in Alaska with Donald Trump. So recently they had a meeting, Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin, who is the president of Russia. They had it in Alaska. They had a meeting together, of course, regarding the end of a war between Russia and Ukraine. Remember, several months ago, also there was another meeting in Washington, D.C. If not, it's not the right point at which they met, you'll correct me in the comment section, but they had a meeting with Zelensky and Donald Trump, which never yielded serious or never registered serious stories regarding ending war in Ukraine. And again, here, big bosses met in Alaska, but like I've read, Vladimir Putin put demands, and his request or demand was to take control of key regions of Ukraine during his summit in Alaska with Donald Trump. Definitely, it's been reported that during the 3-hour meeting, Putin told the United States of America president, that is Donald Trump, that he wants the eastern Donetsk and Luhansk regions, if the war is to end, especially from the side of the Russia boss, that is Vladimir Putin, the Donetsk and Luhansk regions, he wants them to take control over them. Putin would give up other Ukrainian territories held by his troops in exchange. Actually, he already has in control some territories from the other side of Ukraine. It's like, if I'm given the two Donetsk, Luhansk regions, I'll give back the others. Here, President Trump reportedly backs Putin's plans of control over the key regions. According to Sky News, Donald Trump is in support of what Vladimir Putin is demanding for as an exchange for him to put a foot on brakes regarding Ukraine versus Russia war. But Ukraine's president, that is Volodymyr Zelensky, has previously ruled out any handing of a territory to Moscow. Here I give you other details. Russia ready to control 50 Ukrainians and maybe Sigadewo. So that is it. Another update is that from Uganda, the Africa Go Forward Band celebrated 50 years of music practice, music entrepreneurship, music performance, music recording. I remember meeting 10 years ago with Papa Moi Moses Matovu, had an interview with him on Subi FM, that is night 104.9 Subi FM those days. Moses Matov told me that they started the Africa Go Forward in 1975. Yes, so it is a long journey. They have moved as Africa Go Forward, later on which became Africa Band, because you remember those days people used to name their music groups after regions. For example, in around West Africa, countries, or no, members from different countries, Cameroon, Ghana, Gabon, Nigeria, Ivory Coast, had up to now the band still exists. They formed a band, Africando, from Africa. So you remember from the Birmingham, there is unemployment benefit form 40. Definitely it's that 40th form of Wakamani they had signed, which later on they were like, we are tired of being beggars, yet we have talents. They formed a band. After they formed, they had signed to get that money, which the unemployment benefit in the United Kingdom. So the Birmingham group by Ali Campbell was named Unemployment Benefit Form 40, later on UB40 to cut it short. So getting back to Africa Go Forward, it was quite a long line for music lovers and music fans to catch. Where are you going to? We are going to enjoy music by Africa Go Forward. Later on, they were like, okay, Africa Band. I also had a chance to interact with one of the founding members of the Crane Band. Remember, Africa Band comes into play or existence after the disbandment of the Crane Band. Crane Band, I met the founding member, that in Jean Clyde Mayanja, who also gave me good stories about the Crane Band, which later on, after the abduction of Jessica Sirivu, who sang Pamolete, Emerete Jagenda, Nechaita Jagenda, Songaya Sarah mean later on. It is alleged and said, according to the people I've talked to, that Sarah Amin was a dancer in the Crane Band and was a girlfriend to Jessica Sirivu, which later on was abducted. They had a performance at Little Flowers those days. The current Brigato, they had a performance. That is a long story, definitely. It is a long story how Sarah Amin, girlfriend to Jessica Sirivu, ended up with late Idi Amin as a girlfriend, concubine to a wife. That Amin had came one time to watch Crane Band play. When they played, he saw a Queenie dancer, that is Sarah, later on called her to come have a word. And you know, the Marionos used to call ladies for Amini, go call her. So the rest was stories to tell. They fell in love later on. Ononari Miracle Jessica Sirivu started songs like Bamulete. So the mean men thought maybe was attacking the president. Up to now, Jessica Sirivu, after abduction, those days around 1974, has never been seen again, and people think that it probably was abducted due to the song he used to sing. Probably there was fear that he would go and do a vengeance for the girlfriend. Moses might have told me that he was abducted as they had performed after their performance at Little Flowers. So along that road towards Katwe, jeeps, jeeps came, Chika did themselves, never be Chika. Jesse Nepamutwala. And at that time, as they are abducting or abducted Jesse, it is said that Sarah Amin was in Jesse's house or Muzigo in Katwe. All that. So Africa Band has moved over that long journey up to right now. The Ed Ganjas and other members, Rashid Musoke, the Selmagas, Sewanyana is still alive. I also had an interview with him. So they are celebrating. It is worth a celebration. Their journey is quite a good one regarding their contribution to the creative and performing arts in Uganda. They inspire several music artists, producers, songwriters in Uganda. I saw actually Cindy Car with her husband, Antoine Christopher Gbepa Mumba, John Mpao, Kofi Olomide, performing alongside the Africa Band, which is a good thing. So that is just a celebrity update, celebrity news update. Another one is Dr. Bosa. Also is off the hook, got introduced to the parents of his lover. Yes, after all that, there is a note I want to put to you guys. I've noted some statements by several aspirants of the national platform, still not believing that the Jaja Museveni can be gone after 2026 general elections. So I just wanted to come and shed some light at that darkness of why do you stand up on a podium and be like, vote for me, guys, give me this chance, I'm willing to take over the responsibility, so that come 2026, if I become the member of parliament, I'll make sure that Jaja Museveni will not sign unwanted, unlawful acts into law or into yes. And someone belongs to the national platform, and the statements, the movement of the national platform, their move is to remove a dictator, and most of them have a belief that Jaja will be gone come after 2026 general elections. And you find some aspirants still believing that vote for me, when I reach parliament, I'll make sure Jaja Museveni will not get peace, will have sleepless nights, will make sure when I go with my colleagues in is still believing that Jaja Museveni will be there. However, there is another debate. Your question is like, William, do you believe Jaja Museveni will be out of way come 2026? For me, I'm just giving you my opinion. I've heard severally from the leadership of the national platform led by Robert Chagulanyi, the principal, and His Excellency. So for me, if I'm an aspirant MP, I go by that. For example, if you're a believer in Christ who died for us, came back up on the third day, resurrected, in other words, there is always that evangelism of there is a second day when Jesus Christ will come for us to go to heaven. I cannot preach otherwise. I'll always be like, on the second day Jesus will come and take us. That's why even the Seventh-day Adventists will always have songs like, in heaven, there is a good life. Think of milk and honey. We shall move on roads full of milk and honey. They believe in that. If you also have a theory at national platform, you go by the theory. Look, if national platform is preaching removing Jaja Museveni 2026, you should preach the same, even when you don't believe in it. Even if it won't happen, it is the evangelism you should carry on. I will beat you if I find you on a podium preaching that the reason you're going to parliament is to make sure that Jaja Museveni does not get enough votes on unnecessary words. Also, after all these, there is a clip I am going to play for you guys. Actually, This clip is disturbing. During our previous stream on William's broadcast with me, there was a mediation meeting headed by the Secretary General of the National Platform, David Lewis Lubongoya, the Vice President Buganda, Mwanga Chivumbi, and the Chairman of the Electoral Commission of the National Platform. The goal, according to what I had on video as testimonies from Zahara Lirika, from Shamim Malende, from the Vice President Mwanga Chivumbi, the reason they called for that mediation meeting was to give response and reaction to the social media fracas, social media havoc. And the social media havoc was triggered by two supporters, two sides of supporters of two aspirants on Woman MP seat, Kampala, who are hopeful to get that car ticket. That's why they were like, Zahara, you can, Malende, you can, let us have a meeting. Make sure that you take control of your fans, of your supporters. They are kind of making statements that are denting, damaging the National Youth Platform's reputation. And they wanted, actually, according to the Vice President of the National Platform, Uganda region, the two were warned about if they don't move by what had been agreed upon during their meeting, they will be disqualified and other candidates will be let move forward. What happened? What happened? I see Honorable Nakandi on a video. Listen to her. I'll come back. I am Williams, and this is Williams Broadcast.
Kabambuza nti Honorable Nakandi akaluka Kampala wakavaamu nga tetukulabye ku kitebe nga bangamba Honorable nga tobaddeeyo bannanga wagizi wange njala kubategeeza nti enjogerezeganya zonna ezigenda mu maaso wakati w'abakyala ababiri abeesimbyewo abamu ku ffe abeesimbyewo nga zigenda mu maaso nga zikolebwa abakulembeze ku kitebe sizimanyiiko. Nze nga Nakandi sizimanyiiko ate era sinaba kuyitibwako mu meeting n'emu bwetyo. Waliwo bazze balaba ebifaananyi eby'abakyala bano Honorable Malende ne Honorable Zahara nga balinga batabaganyizibwa, balinga be boogera nabo abakulembeze baffe. Bannange bwe muba mutandabye kitegeeza siyitiddwa. Twagala kutegeera ffe nga bannakibiina ate era ffe nga abamu ku beesimbyewo nti ekibiina kigoberera nkola ki okubeera nga kiyita ku bakandidate abamu ate abalala ne balekebwa emabega. Abogezi bange balina ekibuuzo. Ebigambo ebyogeddwa Deputy President Honorable Mwanga Chivumbi olwaleero nti bano ababiri Honorable Zahara ne Honorable Malende singa banaabanga balemeddwa okwetereeza ekibiina kijja kubasuula ebbali kiyite nomination empya. Mu practice zonna ze tulabyeko nga zikolebwa obukiiko bw'ebyokulonda okuva kakiiko ak'eggwanga lyonna n'obukiiko bwa institution ez'enjawulo ze tulabyeko. Singa candidate abeera disqualified, singa oyo omuntu yeesimbyewo baba bamuggyemu mu lwokaano olw'ensonga ezitali zimu ng'okubeera ng'amenya etteeka oba ng'alina ebyetaago by'atatuukiriza, tebayita nomination empya okuggyako nga tewali mulala abadde yeesimbyewo ku kifo kyonna mu ggwanga oba ku bwa pulezidenti mu kakiiko ka byakulonda aka Uganda yonna kakubere ku university nti singa wa guild presidential candidate kubaako alina retake tetukirabangako nti ate ono bamuggyeko olw'okuba alina retake ne bayita nomination empya kubanga babeera babeesimbyewo era abo ababaddewo be baconsideringa. N'olwekyo ebigambo bya Deputy President Honorable Mwanga Chivumbi bimpadde okweraliikirira nze ng'eyeesimbyewo oba oliawo ne bannanga abalala mbasitayinza kwogerera akaseera kano. Tubuuza empapula ze twaleeta ku kitebe. Nze bwe naleeta empapula akakiiko k'ebyokulonda kazireceiving ne kanziriza kopi yange era ne kalaga nti kanominatinze ku kifo kya Woman MP owa district ya Kampala. Kati ebigambo bya Deputy President biraga nti nno ffe empapula zaffe ekibiina tekyazifuna oba kyazisuula muguluka. Twagala kufuna kuddibwamu ku nsonga eyo oba oliawo tulemate kumala budde bwaffe nga tunoonya akalulu n'aboogezi baffe okumala obudde bwabwe nga batambula batuwerekerako batunoonyeza akalulu ate ng'ekibiina tekijja consideringa kusaba kwaffe. Era aboogezi bange baagala okumanya oba bino bye tugendamu ebya vetting birina amakulu gonna bw'abanga deputy president w'ekibiina atuuka okugamba nti ku bano abakyala ababiri Honorable Zahara ne Honorable Malende ekibiina kwe kigenda okulonda flag bearer. Vetting erina amakulu gye tugendamu oba terina. Twagala kutegeezebwa akalulu n'empapula ze twawaayo mu kalulu mwe tuli oba tetulimu kubanga nze sina bye nziramu bawagizi bange naye ate nga zino ansa bazeetaaga.
You have heard her. Of course, I don't know where her worry comes from. She's like, she was not called, that even when Mwanga Chivumbi said, if one of the two fail to practice loyalty to what the meeting passed or what they agreed, because Mwanga Chivumbi said, the honorable, that they will put or invite, call upon other nominations. For her, it's like, why do you call other nominations when I'm available? You would have, you know, I don't know. Every Tuesday when I listen to the leadership communication at the Kavule, I hear them say, Mandwa Bwanika. But during this period, I'm seeing that Mandwa unmasking a lot of stuff. Because Upapachi Nakandi. It is not your supporters, it is not your fans or members of your camp that were involved in the exchange of or verbal exchange on social media. The other parties were called for that due to their support on social media's disagreements. That's why they were called. Even when you're to consider or stick to what Chivumbi said, well, to me, it is, you're just getting out of context. The guy was like, even if you're a counselor, if you fail to practice as per our regulations and guidance, basing on the Electoral Commission regulations, we will call up other nominations and get you off the list. You come. My supporters have asked me, why am I not called? Because when you call others, is it selective? Because now, those unwanted and uncoordinated statements, allegations, will do you more harm than good. I am telling you, Nakandi, just stay down low like an envelope because you're not involved. It's uncalled for. You don't need even to make any alarm regarding the Malende and the Zahara's meeting with the administration at Kavule. It's none of your inclusion. You're just intruding into that. Just stick to what you're supposed to do. If they called and mobilized a fan base for them, if they mobilized votes for them, we would say and decide with you that it is not good of the leadership of the National Unity Platform to be selective when it comes to mobilizing fan base for a few of the nominees. But you're socketing yourself there. Honorable Nakandi, I think you ought to do better than that. And like one of, that was Shamim. Shamim told me when I was like, your story of breaking the ice off the cake that has the listing of who are holding tickets for the national platform in different constituencies. Is it too or is it long overdue? You gave us. Shamim was like, no. The longer, the more we get to know more people deeper. And now, you hear Nakandi coming with lamentations, squeezing crocodile tears, claiming that she was sidelined and not involved in a meeting where Zahara and Malende were invited. It was a mediation meeting. I don't see your involvement there. Discipline. Let me talk to the national platform. Yes, I know it is politics, but discipline, subordinates has to be addressed. People need to understand that if you have any thing you would love to communicate that is against what you're seeing taking place at your administration, you know proper channels where you're supposed to have. If you have any grumbling in your heart and you're you know the right channels through which you have to put or should put your issues. You should know the right channels, especially it should be the Electoral Commission. With all due respect, because you are a young generation, the national platform is having the flag regarding the biggest, the most what? Founded political party right now. Peter Mukasa will be like, no, it's not the most founded, it is the DP, it is the, okay, Mukasa, which word should I use? It's the biggest, it is the firmest. Don't disturb me, Peter Mukasa, now. So you have a good political party, in my opinion, that has a flag on the side of the opposition. So you're also supposed to literally have a reflection of what your political party is. You, Nakandi, I'm talking to you. You see, when I saw the video, I was like, Banavantu Banaki. My fans said, your fans, I understand. Even when there were loopholes in the meeting, probably you're talking about other meetings which there were some candidates have been called and made without you. But if it is about the recent one, it ate you. It ate you, Chakulide. It was uncalled for. You know, cameras, when some of us can be here and be like, it is Williams broadcast with me. Williams, welcome all of you. Thank you very much for being with me. You think it is easy. Camera no mbi. Camera sigala ku record. Camera no mbi mumugira fe tujikolanga mulimu. Tujikolanga career. Nimwe mugikyamukidde mudakika bit. Ndikotinga mama. Mama ndikotinga chintike mu camera. I am Nakandi. According to what transpired at the TV, I am not. I don't concur. I differ to differ. I prefer to differ. Because how can you call Malende, call Zahara? You call Zahara, you stand in Rubongo here, you stand in Vumbi. You stand in Zahara, you stand in Malende. How could you stand them when I'm also aspirant? I'm aspirant who want dying to be a member of parliament. You leave me alone. Now my fans are dying of peace, of love. They are like, did you lose the interest? Why? Over where bisa? You know, with administration, with the human resource, teri human resource administrator yagala mulabisa olabisa national unity platform bava mbizibu obaza mbizibu. They have settled, had a mediation meeting between Zahara and for you you had played a good you had good cards. Being laid back never meant you least or not having good support. Now you come. It's uncalled for. It's starting to sound like it's Latif Sebagala. You Nakandi. Nakandi, take a card. Ando ina magezi.